Hello everyone, this is Aurelia at Aurelia's Crafting Ideas. My crafting idea is to use my cutting dies. This is the second half of my first video. I hope that you have watched the first one. These are the remaining dies we've not used yet, so I'm going to go ahead and work with these today, and I hope that you will join me. Here are the envelopes I'll be using today. This is just the smaller ones here, and it's got this sticky strip on the inside. And then this one is the made out of natural fibers. These are the stickers I'm using today. On this envelope we'll be using the Hello Summer. It's a tropical theme collection on this. It is a rub-on sticker. And then I have this one. This has flamingos. I think that the two will work really well together. And then I have my die cuts. I have this one here. This has the scallop edge. And then there's this one here. This has the wavy cut. And then I have 3 of the leaves today that I'll be using with this envelope. And then we're using these 3 here. I hope that you will join me today as I experiment with these die cuts from the Dollar Tree, and then also all these stickers that are part of the Crafter's Square collection. The first thing I want to do is go ahead and do my die cuttings. I have my wavy die cut here, and then on this I just need about an inch and a quarter, perhaps, just wide enough to support my little slider here. I'm gonna go ahead and trim this down, and then just die cut that part right there. And this scallop one here, I'm going to hold off on this one for a minute. We'll come back to this one. And then I have my leaves. I have this paper here. This also came from the Dollar Tree paper collection. I like this paper, it's so cute. So I'm going to cut out some leaves on this one. I have a dilemma. I cut out my little slider part, see there? I didn't separate my paper, I just left it as is. And then I cut out some leaves. I have different shades of green. I was a little disappointed in some of my leaves because when I sent it through the die cut, it smoothed out my paper. Look at this. It's supposed to have this like a grungy effect. It's supposed to have like a kind of texture on the paper, but when I sent it through the die cut, it smoothed it out. You can still see a little bit of the texture in there, but not much. And the same thing happened with my dark green ones. The texture's gone on there. Let me show you. See how we had the little grungy top there, and it's all smooth out here. So I may, like, maybe if we do like a fussy cut, but I don't have any more of this green paper. I only had the one sheet in my pack, so maybe that's one way to avoid all these smooth flowers. Look at that. So that's one dilemma down. The next one is I want to put my flamingo at the bottom of my envelope like this. My flamingo here to go back and forth. I had planned to use this one, but look at that. It's my flamingos are missing the top of their heads. Look at that. So but they already trimmed it out, so I can't. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that one. So I may go with this one instead. And I was thinking about that one too, but that one's missing the rest of the leg. The legs and the feet are gone. I need to put a slit in my envelope. I thought about taking this apart, but I don't know. It's holding on really well, so I'm not going to even try. I'm going to take my little piece here and just use it as a stencil for now. And then I can go ahead and just cut my envelope that way. I want to work on the little slider here, but before I start that, let me show you my finished flamingo. I added 2 of this cardstock that came out of the sticker package onto the back of my flamingo and made sure it's sturdy enough. I also colored the edges. I just like the color going all the way around. You don't have to if you don't want. So that's my flamingo. Now I have some eyelets here. Now this is the eyelets we normally buy, these little short stubby ones. What you're going to need for this project is a long one like that. See? Now I have a couple of little pieces of the cardstock here. They're similar in size. I want to put, one's going to go on the inside to hold the eyelet like this. Now to secure the eyelet to the paper, I need to glue it down. I have some of the cement that I bought from the Dollar Tree. It holds just about everything. That like that. Now I'm just going to take some more regular glue. There we go. Now I need to get this one. I need to poke a hole in the center, probably like that, and then take this paper and push it down on the eyelet like that. So that'll secure your eyelet to the bottom paper like that. Here is my layout so far. I think that looks really well. a new trick that I have learned. You can use a ruler if you like. I'm using a popsicle stick. I'm putting it right at the edge of where I want my gold ink to go. So I'm putting it like right at the edge of the envelope. This is just a guide so I don't run over and create all kinds of lines. But I want to add some flowers. Lucky for me, I have the Dollar Tree stamp that has the hibiscus. I want to get these leaves down first. And then I'm going to get my stamp out. I like this envelope so far. It's turning out really well. I've never had to decorate with flamingos. So I need to invest in more flamingos, I guess. I know Dollar Tree usually carries like a variety of flamingos. So I have to go back and see what else there is. I found my stamps. There's a hibiscus on this one here with the gardens. There's one here. And then the other one is here on the stamps with the birds. But these are a little too large for my collection. What I need is a tiny one, so I think I'll go with this one that is part of the garden collection of all the butterflies. I think that'll be okay. Now, it's a little large still, but I think that'll be okay. I have some orange ink here. I have like this is the Monarch Orange Archival ink. Stamp it off right quick. I don't want it too orangey orange. Let me go back on this side and try again. That's okay. So I just gotta stamp it off first, then add. There we go. That's better. I like that. I also have some gold ink here, so since my yellow is not showing up, I'm gonna go with gold. I'm just gonna stamp here and there. See if you can tell. Look at that. I am now ready to add my little slider. So this is dry now. Now take this, it goes inside your envelope here, and then so it's going to come out like that. Need a little piece. It should not be any larger than the image you're trying to use. And when I need some cement, I'm going to put a blob on my eyelet there, and then just add that on like that. Need to add some more glue, and then add my flamingo. let me show you my envelope. This one is now complete. On this envelope, I used 3 of the Dollar Tree's cutting dies. I used this little scallop edger. I've also used this little wave cutter. And I've used only 3 of the leaves. I used that one, this one, and that one. So those are the 3 cutting dies from the Dollar Tree Crafter Square collection. And then I also used the clear stamp by Crafter Square. This is the garden collection here. Off this stamp collection, I only used the hibiscus right there. Let me show you my envelope. And let me tell you how it became so adorable. On this envelope, I used the Hello Summer rub-on stickers. And I added the wording here, here, and there. And of course I got the Hello Summer there. I also used the flamingo pop-up stickers. I fussy cut my flamingos and disassembled my pop-up flamingos and multiplied my flamingos that way. I put the stand tall up here and added just a little bit of bling bling on the side there. I also used the stamp, the hibiscus flower, and stamped it here, here, there, and here. I used the Monarch Orange ink by Ranger, and then just a gold ink stamp here also. And then I used 3 of the leaves cutting dies and stacked my leaves through here. I think it turned out really well. And then here is my big flamingo. And let me show you my sliding flamingo. You see that? So cute. I like it. So you can have your flamingo stand anywhere you like on your envelope. You can stand it there. If you're not happy with it there, slide it over. Not there, no. All the way across. I like it. And then on the back side, looks like this. Again, I stamped my hibiscus flower through here and used the same ink. I also used the flamingo, embrace your inner flamingo sticker there. And I, using the feather on this side, I disassembled the pop-up and then just restamped. And then added in the sticker flower that came in the collection there. And then the hibiscus flower, I fussy cut that out off the collection also and put that there. And then layered my leaves behind and in between the flowers there. And then on this side I also used the cutting die, the scallop cutting die. So I etched the envelope there all the way. And then I outlined the edging of the envelope with some gold gel pen. And I added the bling bling. This is actually the puffy sticker, and it's from Dollar Tree too. So cute. And then on the inside I have my paper. I got this paper from Home Goods. They have a very good stationery collection. You guys should check it out. On my paper, I used the rub-on stickers again. I added my flamingos down on the bottom corners. I like them. They're not matchy-matchy, but they go really well together. So there's that. And then I just fold that in 3. And this goes right back in the envelope. I also used the Ground Espresso ink from Ranger again. And I just shaded in all the envelope all around the edges on the back side, on the front side here, and on the back of the envelope also. That gave the shading, in case you're wondering where that shading came from. Now let me show you what I did to assemble my little slider here. As you were watching me assemble this, I know you've seen me use the eyelet, which I was planning to do. I wanted to use the eyelet, but I came upon a problem. It was not cooperating with me. It kept catching my envelope on the inside here, and I was not happy with it. So I took it apart. Well, I took the eyelet away. And what I did to attach my slider here was to take, let me grab a piece of paper here so I can show you. I took a piece of strip of paper like that and just cut that into 4 pieces, maybe like I don't know, 1 inch square is fine, depending on your project. So I took 2 of this 1 inch pieces, pushed that aside for a minute, and I took 2 of these, folded in half like that, and fold that one too. So when you have your folds, your V's or the bottoms are facing each other like that. Now I took one of these unfolded pieces and glued it down like that on top of one of the flaps. So now your piece looks like this. See the flap there? Now I attach my flamingo to here, so now my flap is horizontal like that, and then I put my flaps through here through my cutter, and then on the back side it shows up like this. So here's the cutter, and it comes through to cut like that. Now I take that last piece of 1 inch square there, take your flap and press it down like that. Take this piece and glue that on. So now your little V in there is secure. That way your paper doesn't accidentally come back through. So that's how I attach that. And that's what that looks like. I also added a strip of acetate. I just glued it on the edges on each end there, and then placed it on my paper there. So if you go like this, you can still get your finger in there. So that's what makes my slider slide really smooth, just like that. See, it slides on the acetate, and it's a much smoother glide. I like it. Helpful hint there. Now, let me tuck my paper back in here. So that is one completed envelope. I hope you guys like this one. My next envelope, I'm going to use this one here. This is just a small standard envelope, and it is the white envelope we're going to use. With this envelope, I want to use a couple of the Dollar Tree cutting dies. We are going to use this here. This is the little puffy clouds with the little stitching underneath. And also, we're going to use the heart dies. It's a 3-piece cutting dies. Again, they're all part of the Dollar Tree Crafter Square cutting die collection. I also have some Dollar Tree stickers. This is the pop-up sticker, and it's the part of the chalkboard collection. It's the floral collection. Out of this stamp, I would like to use this bucket down here, maybe the hat, maybe one of the flower pots here. I also have this here. These are the little Poppy collection. She's so adorable. This is actually tattoo, but it works really well on paper too. It's like just a rub-on sticker is how we're going to use that. In addition to all my Dollar Tree stickers and cutting dies, I'm going to need some additional help. So I'm going to be using this multi-heart punch. I will also need to use this stamp collection. This is a Christmas stamp collection, and out of this I'm going to be using this little poem down here on the bottom. Then I also will be needing some ink here. I am thinking maybe we'll use the hickory smoke. here is my envelope. This is the second envelope we've created so far. Look at that. Another adorable envelope. For this envelope, I used 2 of the Dollar Tree cutting dies. Again, they're the Crafter Square collection. This one I used, this is the puffy clouds with the little stitch line underneath. See there? I also used the heart collection. I used the large, the medium, and the small cutting dies. The other items that I used to complete my envelope here are this punch set. It has the multiple size hearts, and I needed that variety in sizes of hearts for my envelope. I also used this Christmas stamp collection, and I only use this little wording part down here. And I also use one of my Valentine stamps, and I just used the hugs part. And I used the Dollar Tree stickers. I used the chalkboard Thankful collection, and I just used this little bucket down here with the flowers. I also used this little tattoo set, and as you can see, I use I cut out the puppy. So let me tell you about the envelope. So yes, here is the bucket with the flowers, and I added the hearts end along with the flowers, so they're spilling out of the little bucket there, and up they go to the large heart. On this heart here, see there, I layered that heart. I just took one of these hard cardboards that come with your stamps, or your stickers, and you know, all the crafty square items that come with it. I just cut out a piece. I cut out 2 extra hearts, and then I layered it in between my 2 hearts. So I put a front facing and a back facing heart there, and I put that right there up in the corner. I also added lace here. This is just out of my supply box. And I added the little flower there. These flowers, as you were watching my crafting along, are actually push pins. I just cut out the needle part and glued that on. And then here is my little poem. Isn't that beautiful? It says, every once in a while in the middle of an ordinary life, love gives us a fairy tale. Isn't that beautiful? Now, the back side. Again, I ran the lace on the flap of the envelope here, and I left a little sticky there. And I added 4 colors of the pushpin flowers. I believe this pushpin collection is part of the spring collection at Dollar Tree. I thought they were really pretty. In addition to the flowers, they also have hearts. But I did not want to overdo it on hearts, so you know, that's why flowers appear there. And then here is my hug stamp, and I used a rainbow color stamp for that. And here is my puppy. See? Hug time. So cute. And then on the bottom is where I used the cutting die, the little puffy clouds with the stitch line. And of course, see, look at there. My little hearts between the puffy clouds. And I had to cut 2 lengths and then overlay it so I can get the continuous puffy clouds here. And both the front and the back side of the envelope, I use hickory smoke to shade in the area. On the inside, which I know you are curious to find out, another beautiful collection of stationery. Not too often you see stationery anymore, so this is what I have. This stationery is a notepad I found at Tuesday morning. And I just stamped up the top here. I put hugs there. Cute, huh? I like it. And I folded that in threes. And that goes back in the envelope there. And I hope you guys like this envelope also. Look at that. So pretty. I have one more envelope to share with you. On this envelope, I have the legal size, and it's a white envelope with the little security design on the inside. With this envelope, I'm going to use the last two cutting dies we have left to use in this whole collection as the Crafter Square cutting die collection by Dollar Tree. So I have this postage edger, and I have from the leaves collection these the berries here. So those two dies we have to sample still, and I hope that you will continue to hang around and watch me design this envelope. I have some Dollar Tree stickers here. They are all part of the Crafter Squares collection. I have this one. It's a pop-up sticker, and it has memories and travel on there. I want to use the travel sticker off this collection here. I like it. I also have some puffy stickers, and they're also the Dollar Tree. There's this one here. Off this collection, I want to use the scooter. I like the scooter, so cute. And then I also have this one here. This is the hot air balloons. I'll be using one of these or two. And here's another puffy sticker. I like this collection, so cute. I want to use the luggage. Then again, I may need the binoculars, the globe, the pen, the compass. Okay, let me put that aside. And then I have this rub-on sticker. It's the Patriotic Collection. On this one, I want to use the United States right here. It has all 50 states on there. I think that'll make a cute addition to my project. In addition to my stickers, I have some stamps. All these stamps came out of my supply box. I have this one here. I think this one is called the Love Notes. I want to use the scripts off this stamp here. And then I also have this one. This one is postcards. Again, I want to use the script and then use some of these stamps from this collection. And I have one more. This one. I like this one. This is actually a background stamp. It's a geographic map with the compass overlay, and it has script going through. up on top and the bottom. I want to go ahead and do my stamping first, and I am using just black archival ink. I am going to go ahead and use Vintage Photo by Ranger and go ahead and shade the edges of my envelope. Give it that old world feel. I am working on my little postage background here. It's a bit tedious when you're doing small items. Just so you're aware. So here we go. I'm going to use these as backgrounds for my little postage stamps. So I have managed to cut 3. So I have noticed that if you're going to use, well, if you plan on using and cutting little pieces, make sure you have all your paper size first. I did mine backwards, that's why my all my pieces are different sizes. Now before I do anything else with this envelope, I want to go ahead and add in my rub-on sticker of the United States. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out and add that in. And after I do that, I'm going to go ahead and work on the placement of my the rest of my Dollar Tree stickers. I'm going to put the travel sticker here. I just put my liquid adhesive from Dollar Tree on the back of all my stickers once I take the sticky stuff off. And then I've done the same thing with my postage stamps. Put some adhesive on the back side. Again, you can find this liquid adhesive at Dollar Tree. It's a crafter square version of a liquid adhesive, and it works very well. Alright, I think the somewhat simple look is much better. Like I said, I had managed to I had added in my compass, I had added in the luggage, I had the binoculars. I was like, oh, I kind of overdid it, so I had to simplify some. Now we're going to go ahead and do the back side. I have stencil berries on my envelope flap here, and I have them going up on either direction of the flap. And I just used my gold gel pen for this. And of course here I use my little stencil. So it went up like this and then back up on that side. In addition to my little gold berries, I want to add my scooter and my luggages. Here are my luggages. I disassembled my, here's the small one. There's the middle. Yeah, it comes in a stack of 3s just like that. But I took mine apart because I just want the small one and the large one. So it's going to look like that. And I have some texture brown paper here. I'm just going to put that behind there. That way you don't see the gap in there when I set it on the white paper there. Here is my little travel envelope. On this envelope, I used 2 cutting dies from the Dollar Tree, part of the Crafter's Square cutting die collection. I used the postage edger, and I used the little berries from the leaves collection. So that completes us using all the Dollar Tree cutting dies, and they are different ways you can work with them. Just, use your imagination. Let it go wild. So here is my envelope. Let me tell you about this one. Let me show you the travel envelope. Turned out really well. Look at that. So cute. That's the front. There's the back. Well, you watch my craft along, I hope. So you know that I used the background stamp with script and the geographic map with the compass. And I also dyed the edge with vintage photo from Ranger Ink. I used Dollar Tree stickers on this envelope. I used the travel. I used the puffy stickers. I used the map of the United States rub-on sticker. And the back side, I used the puffy stickers from the luggage and the scooter. I also added a little shell button there on the flap, and another stamp. And the die cuts that I use are these little backgrounds for my stamps here. This is the postage cutout edger, and then a couple of them on the front side. And for the berries die cut, I used the stencil part, this here, and I used that to run my berries on the flap, going up on each side of the flap there. And then I just went back over using my gold gel pen and darkened my berries. Let's see, what else did I do? That pretty much is it. And I'm quite surprised. I did not disassemble my pop-up stickers. Well, I took the little sticky tap off the back side so I can lay my sticker flat, but that was about it. On the inside, I did add stationery again. This time I use some teal lined paper, and this stationery pack came from Home Goods. On the paper, I use my berry die cuts. So cute, huh? I glued down the little berries on each corner there. Adorable. And then just, of course, fold that in 3s and tuck that back into the envelope. I am quite happy with the way this envelope turned out. Really cute. These are my completed envelopes. I am quite happy with all of them. So cute. They turned out really well. I am so happy with them. The first one on this envelope, the Hello Summer one, we used the die cuts from the leaf collection, and I only used 3 of the leaf dies here. And I also used a little scallop edger on the back side here. And then onto the fairy tale envelope. So adorable. This one I used the heart collection on the front side there, and then on the back side I added in the puffy clouds right down here. Okay, and then on the third envelope I used the post-it edger, and I created a little background for my stamps there. On the back side I used the berries die cut, and I used this as a stencil and put berries on my flaps. But I did still use the little die cuts. I put them on my stationery paper here. Just glued them on there. Really cute. Those are all the die cuts that we've used today. I enjoyed using these die cuts from Dollar Tree. Hopefully you have yours, that you've been able to pick up yours, and that you are finding some creative ways to use them. I am happy to share my ideas with you. And thank you for stopping by. This is Aurelia at Aurelia's Crafting Ideas.